What's up, Wizards Cade? So War 3 of Season 7. Now, a couple wars behind, but catching up slowly. This was our first war against Bray this season. Now, we ended up facing him again in War 5. It's not really spoilers since everybody else has gotten their war vids out, but this is our first time up against them. And Bray has finished first, or has finished in, sorry, not first, but in Masters every season, I think. So we knew we had our work cut out for us, and we had to bring our A game here. Now, the eagle-eyed among you will notice a couple of things. First, I'm bringing Vision and Corvus and Iceman. I don't usually bring Corvus. Iceman's come a lot, but Vision either. Vision and Corvus don't usually come along, but this is kind of a more unique path this time around, so you'll see why. The other thing you'll notice is that I had 3 points available. I had spec'd for single suicide, so Arena wasn't as painful once I placed, right? Thinking there's no way, like Vision's the only champ that I would use that I would need to spec out of suicides for, but I ended up needing him for this path, so I removed him and went no suicides. I don't think I spec'd him again. I think this is a war I ran completely without suicides. Not that Vision can't do this Sabretooth fight, which is what we generally see on 5. Not that he can't do it, the fight itself without, with suicides, he totally can, but just wanted to be on the safe side in Season War. Obviously, we want to make sure we're being very safe. So, pretty simple with Sabretooth. I know I'm going to drain a bar if I feel like I'm not going to have my special, and he's, you know, right now his power is above mine. I'm going to, you know, get that special out of him, and then that way I know I'm bringing him all the way down to 0 bars. It's a special lock 1 on this node, which is why it's a Corvus trap. It doesn't work so much anymore, but I remember back in Season 3, it used to be pretty popular, and it still was getting killed Season 4, 5. I don't know if we got any with it in 6, but it certainly is a great placement for anybody trying to set up Corvus with special lock 1 and that enhanced regen. So. Next fight, you'll see, I'm always, you know, kind of waiting it out, flipping these pages and all that, but because I'm going into the the tool, the scouting bot, and I'll actually have a video coming out about that, about how I try to shorten that time period a little bit, but always going in the scouting bot and then coming back in. This one, there's nothing crazy on this node. It was ended up being a Venom. I'm trying this whole fight. I mean, I'm taking it with Iceman, obviously no suicides. It's just fine. I just, you know, generally when I'm running Iceman, I'm running suicides. And generally when I'm running him in Section 1, I'm not really using my specials because I don't want to lose anything to recoil. This one was going to be a teeny bit longer. I wanted to tease out these, or to get these L1s out of him, because otherwise it's block damage on the L2. It's not like it's unblockable. But anyway, I wanted to get these L1s out of him, so you can see me, you know, baiting a bunch. Sometimes he, you know, kind of wants to throw them. Sometimes he doesn't. That's kind of the nature of the beast. Because I'm baiting so much, I'm not really, well, I'm detonating there, but not really detonating as much, which you really want to do if you want to up Iceman's damage. So much of his damage comes from detonating. I remember having a Sentinel fight that I almost timed out on Spite. Before the Scouter tool, before all that, we were expecting something completely different there. Went in with Iceman, and I was detonating every, like, 4 seconds. I was like, am I gonna get this down? I think I finished with a second left. Either way, I think here he ends up like not wanting to bait, and I'm like, I'm not getting up against the wall. I am Iceman. It just really doesn't matter if I push this guy to L3, and so pushed L3 I did. The only thing you have to be careful with is obviously you don't want to accidentally try to launch an L1 when you're close to an L2 and accidentally launch an L2 instead, because that'll dump your ice armor. I remember early on making that mistake, just thinking I had an L1, launching the L2, no ice armor, pushes into L3, and this was, oh man, Season 1 or 2 or something, when Iceman was brand new to me. And that's that, and I finished it off with an L3. So whatever I didn't lose in recoil damage, I lost some of that to the what's it called, the SP3 and stuff, but it really not bad. And that's that. That's gonna do it for Section 1. Now, this path is unique to me in that I've taken Blade here before with Iceman. Actually, we had the video on the channel. This was going to be the first time I was taking him with OG Vision. Now, OG Vision's great for this fight, for Blade at least. I haven't gotten to try him out against Killmonger because no one places in the offseason just about, so there's no testing that can be done, really. I think he'd be good for it, certainly better than Iceman. I'm kind of not as happy with Iceman for Killmonger on this node anymore. Just, it can go south so quick if he ends up moving into reverb at high power, and the fight's pacing fine, and then all of a sudden a few hits take you down 20%, and you're back to kind of freaking out. So there'll be some of those fights in the old videos from season 5 and 6 as I put them out. But Vision, on the other hand, because this is Plagued Mind, his synthesis triggers after the Plagued Mind. And so you're keeping this fight drained pretty nicely throughout, or you're keeping him drained pretty nicely throughout. So it works out. You don't have to worry too much about the parries getting short, right? Because of the because of his power level. It's pretty straightforward. Now I should have probably just used one there, just really quick. I think I am watching the. Oh no, I'm not. I'm not watching the timer there. I was playing this one a little bit too risky, but got the L2 here. This is my first time, so I do remember being like, all right, don't mess up on this fight. It's just when you're taking a brand new champ that you've never. I fought this node many times, but taking a brand new champ in. I think Plague Mind was in the back of my mind the whole time. So, but it's nice with synthesis coming in afterwards. So I'm just slow playing. I do remember coming out of this fight and being like, well, I didn't have to take that much block damage. Could have probably handled it a little bit better in terms of the amount of health I ended up losing. But I think it went okay for the first time. I didn't want to intercept, didn't want to. Even though he'd be aggressive enough to do that, but didn't want to backdraft or anything. Wanted to just kind of slow play it safe. I want to beta heavy there because once he's into 2 bars, I'm like, nah, I don't really want him to, have like parry me when I'm countering him. So just waiting it out and baiting heavy, and then getting to my L2 and going from there. So pretty straightforward. If you have Blade here and you have an OG Vision, he would be great for this fight even at R4. A minute 19 left. So plenty of time. Now I considered for this next one, because I knew I had a tech on Power Shield after scouting, it ended up being Sparky. I thought Sparky, Sentinel, Iron Man Infinity War, so that's why I bring Corvus. It's just so much quicker. I did end up, because I didn't have Suicides either. Actually, did I spec into Suicides? I don't think I did. Just the boosts. I knew it would be a quick fight. I did put a 150. I like the 150 power bar, whatever the special boost, better than the 200s. But on Power Shield, it doesn't really matter. You do so much damage, you're gonna get pushed to L3 anyway. Generally, that's only a problem if you are using the 200. You can, based on your damage, get pushed to L3. I'm trying not to push him to L2 here, so I'm trying to play it safe. I'm gonna bait this last L1 out of him, and then get that SP3 off. So again, because it's a power gain node, I think that the biggest thing about this node is not so much the power shield. It's the power gain and the unblockable SP2, which can get you if you're not careful. So with certain champs, but Corvus there is easy peasy. And then last one I was expecting Bishop. So again, I was going to use Iceman there. I brought him just as a third option just in case. I don't know what I thought maybe I would see. But I could have probably done this just fine with this energy champ for either Vision or Corvus. But it ended up being Bishop here, and again Vision. Man, using him during this war just kind of felt like a dream. It was really nice to. I don't know. I never get to use him, so just using him, opponent never having power, not running suicides, not losing stuff to recoil. You can slow play a lot of stuff. I'm gonna try here not to give him too many L1s, but it doesn't always work out, and it's totally fine. It's just because the L1 and the energy damage buildup that he gets. So you can see me kind of trying to. I don't know why I didn't launch the L1 there. I do remember watching this when I was first doing the edit, and I was like, what? Why didn't I finish that with the L1? But anyway, tricky stuff about this node. It's poison and brute force, but really there's nothing too bad. Just don't go into it with Iceman. That's why, you know, they're placing bishops here, because go in with Iceman and all you're doing is energy damage, and that gets really, really sketchy with bishop. Generally, I'm liking to push, or I like to push him to the L2 more often than not, because you can dodge 90% of that and not take much damage, and not he doesn't get the buildup. But that was it. That was the war. Kind of an irregular team and all that. Everybody else kind of cleaned up the rest, and that was all she wrote. So this one was a win for us. Of course, Bray, great alliance. GG's to them. Our final death count in this war ended up being Bray had 13, we had 8, and that put us on the season to 3-0. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.